you started really young, so there were dips and trends and just a bunch of things that must have happened throughout your career. What kind of experiences really created a big shift in you personally, and then that how did that lead to a change in your music?
First, like I was telling you, I started out like as a Christian rapper,
Yeah, yeah,
bro. At the time I was like very like self-righteous,
right.
you know, very self-righteous, reading the Bible, like pointing a finger at
Mhm.
people, and just talking a bunch of stuff that I really didn't know or haven't experienced yet.
Right.
So, my brothers are big listeners of music, and they would come to me one day and they would tell me how judgmental I sounded,
Mhm.
you know. And I was like, you know what, they're probably right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're probably right. So it's like, and like I said, I was going through some issues of my own. I'm like, what am I talking about? Like, I'm no better than anybody else.
Right.
So, let me start rapping more about my life, less, pointing the finger about what somebody else is doing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And
I
was
mean,
it
we
sort of
all
like
do it in hip hop to a point.
right.
It was like preaching, basically
Mhm.
preaching,
Okay.
preaching, just quoting scriptures and stuff like that from the Bible and pointing the finger at people who are dealing with their own demons and stuff like that. So then that's when I kind of switched it up, and I took heed to my brother's words and was like, yeah, like I can chill out from this a bit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like, because they were clubbers themselves, they would go to club, they would smoke weed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was cool. I'm cool with my brothers. I always been cool with my brothers. But I'm like, I really don't have a beef with this. It's just something to talk about. Just give me something to talk about by talking about people. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's when I kind of like, you know, merge to this new person that I am, like talk about my struggles more
Right.
so than talking about other people, you know what I mean? Like how they're not living right. So talk about how I'm not living right, and
Right.
the ups and downs that I'm dealing with.
So like what I'm getting is I feel was it more external sort of factors that you used to motivate you when you were rapping during your Christian phase, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
yeah, and then it was sort of just you. It's interesting because it seems like you sort of were able to learn more about yourself through the evolution of your music, right? Like the first it starts with the external factors and the Christian music, which is fine and good, but then over time it became more as if you were sort of within your music, you were sort of journaling about yourself and presenting to to the world. Is that how it sort of was?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And I'm still dealing with that, and that's what kind of slowed me down. You hear the saying that if you don't have anything to say, then don't say it at all. If you don't
Right.
have anything constructive or positive, don't say anything at all. So that's the kind of like phase that I'm in right now. I'm like, like, how can I pull this out of myself? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Trying not to look, like you said, externally look at other people and write their troubles and woes down. Like, how, it's a struggle, bro, to like, and I don't want to do the whole bragging about what I got, and
Right.
the honeys I'm smashing and all that kind of stuff. I don't have that in me, you know
Right.
what I mean? So it's like, I have this very narrow path, this
Mhm.
narrow way that it's difficult to me,
Right.
at times, what I'm saying, to like. And then you have the factor of like, you don't want to sound like a broken record talking about the same things over and over and over again, although it does happen.
Right.
But certain artists just know how to dress it differently, you know what I'm saying? Like, you take an artist who has a cocaine addiction or something like that,
Mhm.
they'll talk about it in one song, but then they'll dress it up differently in another song, and
Right.
I just try not to be. I'm very critical of myself,
So
at that